internet that brought together law enforcement from 18 African nations and the UK. The results were staggering. Over 1,200 arrests, almost $100 million in stolen funds recovered, and over 11,000 pieces of criminal infrastructure dismantled. Now, this operation revealed that the Lagos Hustle Kingdom was just one piece of a much larger puzzle. In Angola, authorities busted over 25 illegal cryptocurrency mining farms who were stealing enormous amounts of electricity from the national grid. Now let's go to Zambia, because in Zambia, they took down a massive fake cryptocurrency investment scheme that had defrauded over 65,000 victims of an estimated $300 million, a case that also uncovered a human trafficking ring. Now let's return back to West Africa again. This time around in Ivory Coast, they dismantled a classic inheritance scam that had originated all the way from Germany. Germany is in Europe, Western Europe. So I'm trying to tell you the network of this cybercrime, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. The timing of Interpol's announcement landing on the exact same day as Nigeria's deportations was no accident. It was a deliberate, synchronized message to global crime syndicates. The era of exploiting Nigeria and Africa as a fragmented, low-risk base of operation is over. A new united front has been formed, and it is fighting back through authorities like anti-fraud agencies in Nigeria, the Interpol, and across the whole of Africa.
Now, my dear listeners, you can now see that our country is not really doing anything concerning fraud. Instead, they pay attention to social media and believing that social media is, to them, is their main focus. You understand? Now, look at these cyber criminals who have been going about scamming and emptying people's accounts. These are the people who our politicians are supposed to pay attention to and see how to drag them to book and make sure that the rate of crime in Nigeria is completely collapsed. Why are we bringing this to your notice? We are bringing this to your notice because we have now discovered that now the cyber crime is no longer being practiced by only the youths anymore, or even the students, as we all believe is really happening. Now, our so-called politicians have also gotten themselves involved in cybercrime. Yes, stocking money in secret accounts has also linked to cybercrime. Our politicians now got themselves acquitted to system, mastermind the operation of diverting funds from one account to another account. That is a pure cybercrime, but politically hijacked and practiced. You understand? You see, this kind of people, they cannot be checked because of their position. You understand? But they have access to check the young people because they believe that they don't have any political identity. You see that now? So please, let's go on. There is more fact for you to get from here.
Now, behind the scenes, this billion-dollar criminal enterprise is a trail of shattered lives, because whenever we talk about these crimes, we don't always talk about the other person on the other side of the screen. Because for any crime that is happening, for any Nigerian prince running their operation, there is always another victim on the other side of the screen. So to understand how these syndicates are so successful, you have to understand the psychology of these victims that they exploit. Their method is a clear art form known as pig butchering. The scammer invests weeks, sometimes months, fattening up the pig, building what feels like a genuine loving relationship with the victim online. They shower them with affection, building deep trust and emotional dependency. They often target people who are most vulnerable, like those who are recently divorced or widowed. Once the emotional hook is set, they pivot, like a 360 pivot from the loving Nigerian prince that you have fallen in love with. But the victim, of course, obviously, they don't know that they are interacting with a Nigerian prince. I call it.
My dear listeners, I must tell you that our Nigerian and politicians really need a lot of work to do on this very part the most. Instead of paying attention to people who are trying to do them good by exposing these criminals, is it not through this social media that will help to make sure that this criminality and criminal act is brought to book? Now, this information you are getting, this information um, on your palm or in your convenience through a social media. Without this very social media, will this kind of information get to you? Never. Let's take for instance now Tinubu's action of shutting down the social media as he claimed. And if that has been achieved, information of this kind wouldn't have gotten to you. You wouldn't have known that this is the new development. And I must tell you that this is coming because the politicians now know that we have known their new tricks and involvement in cybercrime. My dear listeners, please, this very video we really need to go viral. I will really appreciate it if you help to share this video. Let friends, brothers and sisters have a copy of this. We must not let these people go unpunished. They must be punished for this evil that they have done. Thank you so much.